my best friend. Some people say we have a problem, but every night I make a new best friend. And the only problem is we like having a good time.
Hello. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means. It's another episode of Between Two Beers. Looking a little different here.
Oh, whoa.
Fancy. We got these nice little fancy bubble letters here. Look at that. That looks
bubble
nice.
letters. We're getting fancy.
Who doesn't
over
love
here.
bubble letters, huh?
We decided
Come
to
on,
get
look at
fancy on a
that.
night that there's nothing in the wrestling.
Yeah,
world
nothing.
to
Not like it was a
talk
big
about.
wrestling week or anything like that. Not a
Oh.
lot of shows to talk about or a giant story to talk about or anything like that. But yeah, as we start the show, we got people funneling in the chat. Right off the top, I want to thank RK Athletics. They are Love Wrestling CA's first sponsor. Rich King, wonderful individual, great professional wrestler, and also a great personal trainer. So give them a follow. You can follow them at RK Athletics 1 on all social media platforms. If you're looking to just get in shape, get some nutrition advice, maybe some workout plans to do at home or virtually, they are the group you want to go see. Follow them over there at RK Athletics 1 and go give Rich some love. He's a great individual and he's been a supporter of Love Wrestling since the beginning. So go hook them up. Yeah.
Well, since it's such a slow night in the wrestling world, please, if you're in the comments, let us know what you want us to talk about. I don't think anything happened of any sort of note.
Oh, yeah. No, nothing gigantic of any sort or anything like that happened this past weekend or anything like that. We got A. Walton in there saying, good evening, gentlemen. We got our buddy Tim saying Spencer's getting better ads. Yeah.
Better ads and better abs.
Yeah, that is true. RK Athletics will give you both. Better abs, bro. That's what we're doing.
But yeah.
We are going to talk about that is on the list. We are going to hit AEW first. We're going to dive in. That's awesome. I have been to a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view before. Yeah, they are very fun.
It's in Chicago, and
it is
in Chicago. Good for
Yeah, so
we can talk about it. We talk about whatever you guys want. We'll talk.
Hell in a Cell is on the list. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to run through In Your House. We got a lot to talk about tonight. My Celtics, AEW, Celtics, Double or Nothing, Dynamite, MJF. My Celtics are about to start a finals game in an hour. I'm going to try not to have a heart attack. Yeah, it's a lot going on. Tim said he got Hulu at this time for the Orville. And Walton says technically Rosemount, but you know they're going to. But that's close enough, right? That's close enough. Yeah. All right, Pluggo.
That's fine. Where do you want to start tonight?
I mean, I think we should start with what happened over the weekend.
What happened?
No, you were out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You were out.
It was Oliver's birthday this past weekend. He turned 7. So, Saturday we went to Strikes and Spares, which is like a bowling alley / like they have like go-karts. And then, Sunday we went to Six Flags Great American. Oh yeah. MJF destroyed the internet.
He did.
Happy belated birthday to Oliver. You're the man. Love you, hound dog. Blah. But we got bigger fish to fry. MJF setting the world on fire.
He did. That he did do. Yeah, it was loud. It was loud what happened. It was loud.
Loud.
News broke. I was at a wedding, for crying out loud. I was at a wedding when this was going on. And it was the story of the weekend.
No shows, a meet and greet.
Yeah, so it has been reported for a few months now, or at least a month now, that MJF hasn't been thrilled of late. There we go. Thumbs up. We're getting a thumbs up by Titanium Cookie. Appreciate that, my friend.
Thank you. Welcome to the chat.
And The Miz, you're right. The Miz has never done that. Yes, I get it. So news broke on late Saturday afternoon that MJF no show to meet and greet at the AEW, whatever their fan fest, whatever they call that, which obviously is not good. those people paid money to see MJF, so that's
Probably good money too.
I would assume. I don't know the prices offhand, but I would assume it was probably not the cheapest of things, especially in today's world where everything is rather expensive.
Oh, God.
But yeah, he no-showed. So and even with the reports of him being unhappy, that had never been a thing like that. He had never done anything to that level or something like that. So, all right. So he no-shows all that. And then we go into the evening, and the whole thing is like, well, is he gonna go to the pay-per-view? Is he gonna wrestle? And then all of a sudden,
they booked a flight.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
home.
Sean Ross Sapp reports that a flight was booked for MJF to fly out of Vegas. He doesn't know. He's still you're not alone. Some people think. Sean Ross Sapp usually isn't wrong about things, and he says now they're turning
correction. Friend of the show,
correct. Friend of the show, SRS,
multiple time budget blower,
3-time budget blower. He's usually not wrong, and as a matter of fact, lately he hasn't been wrong. So if he is saying that it wasn't a work to start, like there was really a flight booked and stuff like that, I'm gonna tend to believe him. But to hit your point here, they are turning it into this was whether it was a shoot at first, this is now turned into a work, which we will get into as we dive into our Dynamite review after we talk a little bit of Double or Nothing. But they took this story and they turned it into what we saw last night on Dynamite and what we saw at the pay-per-view, which we'll dive into because it did open the show.
Which was a huge debate as well, and that was part of the whole story. And I know when we talked on Thursday and did our predictions with our buddy Wordsmith, who just vulgarly told me to play his ad in our in the chat. I just messaged him and he's like, play my effing ad. Anyway, well, I was like, oh, should MJF get squashed by Wardlow? And everybody said no. He ended up getting squashed. He got crushed. But it was all that overshadowed the whole story. It's like, is he showing up? Is he not showing up? Then there was the report on Sunday that he showed up right before Double or Nothing and then left pretty quickly after his match. Listen, all I know at the end of the day, and I got super excited about this myself to the point where I had to talk about it on an offhanded day. I had to just talk it out in my head. The guy's worth the money.
Yeah.
He is a slam dunk, no doubter. And listen, I understand business and you're not going to give him $20 million. You're not going to, but if he's making the reported money that I heard was just like $150 a year or something small like that, like you could triple that and he's worth it. You could make him $1 million a year. He's worth it. He is a draw every time he speaks. And like I've said before, he's been part of, like, if you said the top 10 AEW storylines, he's got like at least 3 of them in the bag. Cody, Moxley. Well, no, I'm sorry. Cody,
Punk,
Jericho, Punk.
Yeah.
And then you throw Wardlow in there now. So that's 4. We're talking 4 top tier.
He's been treated as a top guy the whole time that he's been there. Even if he wasn't going for the title, his feuds mattered. They got TV time. They were the biggest matches at the show. Like, he's been treated as a top guy. He wants to get paid as a top guy. And according to reports, Tony has come out publicly and said, or at least to people, and has said, yeah, of course I'm going to pay. I want to pay him what he's worth. But that involves him signing an extent, like staying here longer. Like, I'm not just going to add money now. Like, this is not how that's how this works.
That's how
business just business.
Works. Yeah.
And they're not budging. They're at a stalemate. And
that's how it works in the NFL. That's how, like, Deshaun Watson, love him or hate him, he's only making $1 million this year. His extension is after this year. That's for some other reasons. But and for MJF, I mean, of course he wants to keep that 2024 number open because he is going to be sought after by anybody that wants him. He'll have a golden ticket to go anywhere he wants to continue his career because he has proven that he's that good. So, and for people to say that he's unprofessional, like he talked about in the promo, you're dead wrong. This happens in all walks of life. When I walk into my job and they tell me you're making X, Y, and Z after good performance and outworking people ahead of me, I'd like to be compensated for my work. They do it in sports all the time. They do it in wrestling all the time. Like it's just, this is business. It's a business at the end of the day. MJF at I'm always going to side with the player, the athlete, the worker. Tony Khan's a billionaire. Don't forget that.
Yep.
As much as we talk about how much we love him and he's a fan, he's a billionaire owner who's trying to obviously do the best. And of course, MJF has a gripe. He has a grievance because you see all these ex-WWE guys, as he talks about on Wednesday, coming in, making 10 times, 15 times as much as he's making, and he is the draw.
Yeah.
Like I'm Christian Cage. Let's be honest. I joke every Wednesday on the All Elite Sidecast that's the easiest paycheck in the business. He doesn't do much.
Yeah.
He
actually wrestled last night, though. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about it.
But he did wrestle. He did wrestle.
My point is MJF, though, is making on a dime.
Probably less than him. Probably less than Christian. Yes. Probably less than the Hardys.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Definitely less than Punk. Definitely less than Danielson.
And I wouldn't be shocked if like the Big Show is making more than MJF, right? Like when MJF signed him, he was people knew kind of who he was on the Indies, but he wasn't like he was on fire.
He wasn't at that level. Like
he was in MLW, he was on fire with the Dynasty. Him, Hammerstone, and Holiday was one of the best things going on that program. But he was still an independent, unknown national television draw. You signed him for the cheap. You signed all of those first.
Yeah, and now he has outperformed it because he is a top guy in professional wrestling. He's a top guy, in my opinion, the best heel in professional wrestling. I have a hot take coming later though, but the best heel in wrestling. And
it's almost
Tim agrees with you that Mark Henry probably makes more. Yeah. I bet you those guys probably do because of their history and where they came from.
And I'm not saying they shouldn't because
everybody should get the bag. Everybody should get the bag, but and you mentioned it earlier. You see it in pro sports all the time. This is the perfect example of a Devontae Adams becoming the best receiver in football after his third year when he's still on his rookie contract, not getting paid any money. And he goes, yeah, you know what? I think I should get paid more. I'm not showing up until you pay me more.
Deebo Samuel is doing it right now.
Everybody does it.
MJF is on
all the time.
He's on a rookie contract and he's out.
Damn right. He's in year 3 of probably a 4 or 5 year rookie deal. He's getting paid not like the big guys, but he is outperforming most of those big guys. So he's saying, hey,
restructure my shit.
I need to make more money. Restructure my shit. And everybody, and I get, not cool. No showing a meet and greet. Those fans, you shouldn't work the fans like that. I get it. He's a heel. He's a dickhead. I understand. That's the character. You shouldn't work the fans' money. You shouldn't work the money. It's okay to fuck with fans if you're a bad guy. That's what you're supposed to do. But when you start messing with working their wallets, working their money. Damn, what's going on, man? Good to see you.
That's
where I think it's like,
But at the
it
end
is
of
what
the
it
day,
is. I get it. I get the frustrations.
And
we all have them in everybody in this chat, everybody in any walk of life at some point, we've all had these frustrations. MJF just is in a scenario where he thought this is what he was going to do. And last night, which we'll dive into, he was given the opportunity to air them out.
Which we'll talk about it, but we
got to talk about Double or Nothing first.
I know. I just want to point out that he proved his point because Dynamite last night did like 9,960 or something like that. 900,000.
Yeah,
I saw the first clip I found because AEW delete all ours. The first clip I found of the unscript did like 500,000 by itself.
Yeah,
and that was at 9 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
Because that's when I saw it. It was 9 a.m. this morning because I fell asleep early last night, like a bum. You talked to him before the show. He was here giving you his predictions. That kid, he likes to run daddy ragged sometimes.
Yeah, well, he needs to know that Wednesdays and Thursdays are show nights. He needs to keep his ass upstairs. That's what he needs to do.
He wants to be on the show, bro. Well, he wants to be on the show. He's like,
he can be our predecessor.
He could maybe become our producer since Alex has taken another vacation.
Another vacation day for Alex.
Easy money.
I know it's the summer, but geez. I don't get paid for working double. Show. Crying out loud. You want to talk about, I'm about to, make me working double duties. I'm hosting and producing tonight.
Alex wanted us
got to
as well.
restructure my contract over
He
here.
wanted us to timestamp any clippable moments. Timestamp 15 minutes in and send this to him.
Yeah, dick.
Let
No,
him know.
just
Put
kidding.
him
We
on
love
the show.
Alex.
We
love
will.
Alex.
We will. One of
He's
these
allowed
days.
vacation times, but he's starting
One of
to
these
cross
days
the
when I
line
can
of taking
convince
advantage.
when I can convince JPJ to allow it, we'll have Owen on to do.
He's been on the show before. He's had a couple run-ins.
He's crashed the show.
He's
for
crashed
sure.
the show like 3 or 4 times.
But we'll have a segment with Owen.
Yeah, once he gets I say he's almost of age. I think once he gets like a tad older, we could probably record maybe a weekly segment of Owen making picks or something like that. We could probably probably do something.
I could probably work.
All right, let's talk some AEW. We'll start with Double or Nothing, then we'll go into Dynamite, and then we can kind of come back full circle with this MJF talk because when we get to Dynamite, that's going to be the conversation.
Yeah,
so,
it's the most important conversation.
Yeah. So we got on the pre-show your boy Hook and Danhausen. Hookhausen went up against Smart Mark Sterling and Tony Nese. This was everything that I expected it to be. I thought the ending of it was amazing with Danhausen asking for the tag, and he just kind of pins him. Hook does all the work, beats the crap out of everybody, and then Danhausen celebrating with the curse on top. I liked it. It was fun. Hookhausen are super over. They're going to be
on them.
It will happen. I'm fully certain at some point that will happen.
Wait, look, it better happen or
yeah, he'll come after you.
He'll come after you.
What'd you think of your boy Hook here? What'd you think of Hookhausen? What'd you think of the
always love it.
The buy-in.
Always love it.
This was on the buy-in, by the way. I think as we dive into the show, because there was a lot of matches, I think they could have added another match or two to at least another match to the buy-in, but they could have added another match or two to the buy-in.
They could have
for pacing.
They could have pacing for sure. I will admit, going into the full card, I know what all happens. I got chunks of this and chunks of that. I was in and out due to I have kids' birthdays, but I know enough to know what's going on. I know enough that my boy Hook and Danhausen did their thing, and they should have won. That was the right call. Absolutely. I love the idea of Hook doing all the work. Did a move. Yes, they let him wrestle, which is nice. Yep. Mm-hmm. Because I think that was a disservice to his debut match, was not letting him showcase.
Yeah, we were very excited for that on Sidecast. Then it was just like,
2-second coins, right? Because of course, like I said, and I've said to you many times, because you told me outside of this, you'd never seen Danhausen wrestle. And correct. I was like, just wait, he can go. Like, give him a chance. And the first opportunity you get to get somebody hooked on Danhausen, he gets squashed in 2 seconds. So mistake, but yeah, good way to start.
I mean, it led to Hookhausen though, and they're going to be huge. So
you got the crowd hyped up, ready to go, leading into Double or Nothing, and then of course we get
to start MJF, the show. We have MJF versus Wardlow. MJF does show up. The report was that he showed up right before.
He's a pro.
Yeah. So at least he was, say what you want. And I said earlier that I didn't think it was cool that he no-showed the meet and greet, but he showed up for his responsibility. And, going into it, I know the story was around MJF, but the whole time I was thinking, for the most part, I was like, oh man, poor Wardlow.
Right.
Like this is his moment. And I want to talk about, we're going to dive into everything, but like, this was his moment. We all knew this was his moment. This match, this whole feud, that you can make an argument. I personally believe this was the best story built story heading into this pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and
it's been going well for years.
And Wardlow's has been this is a years and multi-year story. Wardlow's hot as hell doing the power bomb. The crowd loves them. They're doing the Wardlow chants like Goldberg. Like this story has worked. And this was his crowning moment. And less than 24 hours before that, everyone was like, holy crap, is this match even going to happen? And the whole time, obviously the story's MJF because that's what was going on. But the whole time for me, I was just like, man, I feel super bummed for Wardlow. But MJF did show up. He did the right thing. And this was basically a squash. Basically.
Yeah. And up until the show, I mean, I don't know how the contracts work. I'm not sure if he would have been in breach of contract for not performing or if he has to perform a certain number of dates type deal. So I don't know if he was showing up just because he didn't want to lose any leverage he may have had, but he did the right thing. I mean, at the end of the day, up until this point, so I know we've already kind of touched on a few things that happened Wednesday, but up until this point, nobody knew if this was real, fake, what was going on, what was true, what was not. We were just like, again, and like you said, like, oh shit, poor Wardlow, this is his moment. This is what we've been building to. If they don't pay this off, what do you do? Yeah. How do you get around this? Because the whole stipulation is you beat MJF, you are all elite. If MJF no shows, you can't pay it off. You're going to have to come with something else. But no, and again, I know that I said it should have been a squash, and everybody kind of was like, I don't know. And it kind of was. 10 power bombs.
I know. Yeah, 10.
Look good. He got the graphic. He was all excited.
Yeah, and it was a huge pop, and people loved it. I liked it. I wasn't expecting a squash. I was not expecting a squash. I was expecting MJF to at least get a little bit of offense, but it fit the story still.
I wonder if they squashed him based on the weekend or if that was the plan all along. That's why this whole MJF thing is so intriguing, because like what got changed, what didn't get changed was maybe the match supposed to be longer, but Tony was like, you go out there, do your thing. Cause I don't know. I'm not inside there. I wouldn't fly on the wall for that conversation.
Yeah, true. It's true.
Us hanging out at a water park.
All right. This next match, it was the Young Bucks against the Hardy Boys. This one started off rough. Oh yes, we can't. And I know Walton said something earlier about it, but yeah. When MJF's getting taken out on the stretcher, the dude puts his oxygen over his eyes.
That's
hilarious.
Awesome. It's because eyes gotta they gotta breathe.
Oh,
baby.
That was so good. I was like, what? Oh, very good. Yeah, we had to. Hilarious. So we had the Young Bucks and the Hardys. I thought the last 5 minutes or so it picked up and it got better, and the end was fine. But it seemed to me that Jeff Hardy was off. I don't know if he banged. I know there was something wrong with his boot, and I was kind of worried about his boot. I was like, is that going to fall off? But Jeff Hardy seemed like a step. It just seemed to step off, and then it kind of finished better. But overall, it's not the match they had in 2016. But the Hardy Boys did get the victory.
Which I thought was odd. I thought
it was odd too. I figured you would go with the Bucks.
Got it,
yeah,
in a slimy way, and then maybe do it again.
Yeah, but go ahead. You look like you wanted to say something. So
I just want to say I think the Hardys are showing their age. No disrespect to them.
Oh yeah,
it's becoming what it felt like from what I caught on the whole match was like they did start slow, and I think that maybe Jeff was a little up. Maybe it's an injury. And Matt's also getting up there. Maybe they decided to change some stuff. They're all veterans in that ring. So I imagine maybe they thought this isn't working. Let's change course. And then the end of the match ended up being better. That Swanton bomb was I mean, flush. As you said,
the one on the stairs?
Flush.
Oh yeah. Brutal.
I mean,
it's just like,
I'm not knocking the Hardy Boys. They're absolute legends, and they no disrespect. It's just you can tell that it's
they're
almost,
at the end. This is the swan song.
And then Jeff Jeff. I know that there's a bunch of people out there that are going to assume the worst. I don't think that. I just think he's a little banged up. I don't think. I think he might have hurt himself in that Darby match, and he might be.
I think he might have hurt him. There was one move in this match in particular, the move where the guy goes to the corner and Nick Jackson kind of super kicks him like from the apron, and they kind of meet. When it happened in real time, I was like, "Oh, that looked like he got him, like he hit him in the head." Yeah, and.
That could be.
I don't know if that could have just been a really good sell and it just looked good. And I was like, shit, they marked, I was a mark for it or whatever. But they worked me. But it looked like it was like, ooh. And then I don't know, he just seemed off. But like I said, it did pick up at the end and I thought it ended much better, but that was not the best match. And then it was followed by another match that I thought was fine, but I didn't really love it that much. But that was Anna Jay and Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship. Obviously, I think all of us going in were like, there's no way in hell Jade losing this.
Yeah.
And they had fought before.
There's never There's never a situation since Jade has been TBS champion that I thought she's gonna lose.
Yeah,
because they're not really doing anything. Like Anna Jay is great, but they didn't really build this thing.
No, this was just
like
filler.
You're the flavor of the week. We got to get the TBS title on the show, and let's just throw some. Which is what we complain about at the WWE. Is they do that a lot with their women's title, and I want them, and I'm hoping because I think we're gonna gloss over the match in general. For the most part, I don't think there was a whole lot of noteworthy stuff. But a lot of stuff
we're going to talk about what happened. Yeah, a lot of stuff went down. Well,
and I think that's good because that'll hopefully bring this TBS title into prominence.
Yeah, well, one thing that did happen technically before the match ended was we saw Stokely Hathaway, former Malcolm Bivens, walking down the ramp as Jade Cargill hit an avalanche Jaded for the pinfall. And then after the match, we saw a whole bunch of stuff. They were still attacking Anna Jay. And then we saw Chris Statlander come down.
The baddies, bro.
The baddies. Here's okay. Because a lot happens here. So all right. So Statlander comes down. Statlander and Jade have a face-off for a few seconds. At this moment, me personally, I was like, oh yeah. Like, this is what I want. Like, I want Statlander and Jade. That's a match I would be excited.
This Statlander,
and that's a match that I think Jade could lose. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, that's two strong, bigger women. They're going to go. And that was that was what I wanted to see. But then, and I'm very happy that this person is there. I just like the way that they did it. I was kind of more excited for the Statlander. But then we see the AEW debut of Athena. And she comes out, huge pop, as she should get. She gets in the ring, and then her and Jade kind of have a standoff. And it's the baddies versus Anna Jay, Statlander, and Athena. So I'm assuming we'll get a six-woman tag of some sort soon or something like that. And I don't know, maybe if Jade goes through Athena first and then it's Statlander. I don't know. I want the Statlander Jade. That's what I want. We have Walton saying they want.
You're in, my friend.
Yeah.
You're in the baddies.
Yeah. You're in. If you think you're a baddie, you're in there.
Yeah, I think that's the whole mindset of the baddies. I know that Jade's kind of heelish, but she is getting over being a heel. But that's the mindset, girl. If you think you're bad, then you're bad.
Yeah.
Done. I'm a baddie. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm bad as I want to be. Yeah, though, the Athena debut is about damn time because
she's been floating out there for a while.
She's been out there. I'm interested to see is the sign behind me, Warrior Wrestling. She is the Warrior Wrestling champion.
Yes.
Thunder Rosa, she beat Thunder Rosa last month for that title, and Thunder Rosa had to relinquish it due to her commitments to AEW. I'll be interested to see how much they use Athena and if that, affects her indie booking as well. But she's awesome. She's a great in-ring performer, former NXT champion. She was dubbed the She-Nom at one point because they had thought so highly of her. This is going to only energize that division and make it better. And Stokely Hathaway being with Jade Cargill is going to be phenomenal. I just envision the two of them bouncing ideas and forming this baddies thing into just next level shit. Like, I'm super excited for the women's division in AEW right now. I think it just got a huge injection of excitement.
Yep, I agree. All right, we then had what I thought was maybe the best match of the night. Oh, our buddy Darren Amazing popping in. What is going on, my friend? We're reviewing a little bit of Double or Nothing right now. We're about to talk about the 6-man tag, House of Black, Malachi Black,
co-Quizplex Viewers Champ, buddy.
There we go. Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King versus Death Triangle, Penta, El Cerro Miedo, Ray Phoenix. Oh, here he comes. We might have a run in right now.
He's crying. He wants to come down.
Oh yeah, good. You gotta let him want it more. Good. Anyway, I thought this match ruled. It was just back and forth. About halfway through, all 6 were just in there, hitting all their shit, flying everywhere, over the ropes. It was beauty. And all 6 of these guys are incredible. There was one scary moment when Brody King. So they did a thing where everyone was diving out after each other, and Brody King was the last one, and he's clearly the biggest dude. So they like made it a big thing, and he went to do a dive, and he made it, but barely. He barely made it. And he hit the apron, and he was funny about it. He said a tweet later, and he was like, "Apron, hardest part of the ring," or something like that, or something on Twitter that he was making fun of himself, which is always I like that. Yeah, good. It's good if something like that happens. If you have that kind of attitude, you're probably doing the right. Yeah, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, like could you imagine if like Titus O'Neil like got pissed about the Titus Worldwide Slam?
Yeah, come on. It happened, right?
Shit happens. It's wrestling.
Yeah. I've fallen down at work, slipped and fell on my ass before. Now, am I going to act like, come on, who gives a shit? Everyone saw it.
I bet you in the moment you're like, motherfucking.
No.
And then you're like,
I was like, I'm dead. I just started screaming, I'm dead.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
Oh, yeah, I'm dead. That's my thing. Oh, I'm dead.
Don't forget, we might have to break away before 9:00 because the NBA Finals are tonight. Your boys are in. So keep that.
We're going to talk about it. We're not breaking away. We're not breaking away.
All right. It's a big night.
I know. The game starts at 9. Tip off ain't till friggin' 9:20.
I was gonna say, I just noticed. I was like, oh shoot, it's 8:30 already.
Yeah, no, they're not starting at 8:30. It's 9 because God, screw everybody on the East Coast. Fuck them. They don't care about them. They don't have to wake up early for work or anything like that.
Not at all.
But whatever. Anyway, Pac hit a crazy sequence where he hit a poison Rana followed by like a massive clothesline on Buddy Matthews. But obviously, the ending is what people were talking about. We have Pac going to hit his, what's he call it now? The Black Arrow? Is it Black Arrow now?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was going to hit his, Black Arrow. Lights go out. And we talked about it last week with our buddy, the Wordsmith.
Shit all over it.
We did, because we thought it was taking too long. But finally, Julia Hart, the lights come back on. Julia Hart hits the mist. And it was a good one, too. Right in the face, which leads to the House of Black getting the victory. Julia Hart looked awesome. She was wearing an all-black suit, had a messed up eye. She looked great. Her with Alistair's arm around her in the group, it was amazing. I'm excited about this. I'm excited that it finally happened. The ending of it, the payoff was good. I just think it was stretched out a little bit longer than it should have been. But I love this match. I loved everything. I thought this was one of the better parts of the evening.
Yeah. I think you get all 6 of these people involved and you're going to have a great match. This match for me made me want Pac singles run again. Mm-hmm. Like I want him to be pushed in a title picture. I want him to wrestle CM Punk. I want him to wrestle Scorpio Sky. I want him to get involved more singles stuff. That's what it did for me. But yeah, the Julia Hart stuff, that's the main part of this I saw. I kind of just saw clips and bits and pieces of this match, unfortunately. I'll go back and watch it all again later. But yeah, we talked about it last week. We were like, man, when are they going to do this? When are they going to do this? And they paid it off, and they paid it off well, which again, we need to just, I guess, let it play out. AEW, maybe they were watching. Maybe Tony was watching last week and goes, you know what? Those 3 dudes are right. Like, let's get it done. Like, what are we waiting on?
Maybe.
But yeah, ultimately another good match. Yeah, and it was what, 9:30 at this point?
Oh yeah. The show ran long. We then had the men's Owen Hart Cup Foundation Tournament Final, Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole. It was all right. The match was all right. Adam Cole won. He was my pick. Party. So nailed that one. It is what it is.
I mean, it was my pick.
You had him out in the second round. How you talking?
But it was my pick when I made picks for the show.
Oh.
But the initial before the tournament started.
It was my pick for both of those things. Anyway, I thought this match was okay. I expected it to be a little bit better with these 2 guys. Bobby Fish got involved, which I understand. That's in Adam Cole's character, but I didn't like him getting involved. I thought it should.
Did we skip over O'Reilly and Darby? I thought that was
that was later.
Okay.
That was later.
Sorry.
No, yeah. Says the guy that was washing it in chunks, talking to me.
Yes. You got it on. I should just let you lead, and I'll just give you my thoughts.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I got these
Christ.
kids, and they have these.
Yeah, you need to do something
birthdays,
about these kids.
And I gotta be honest.
Buy them some iPads or some shit.
I don't know if we've ever I've never told you this. I don't think so. Oliver's birthday is on Memorial Day weekend 95% of the time.
Yeah.
Double or Nothing is Memorial Day weekend every weekend. All Out.
Well, you better move that kid's birthday or something.
Colin's birthday, my oldest, is on Labor Day weekend.
Well, plan better.
AEW is like making me have to make tough decisions, and I have to like cut in and cut out and be like, I'm at birthday parties and I got the phone out. They're like, it's cake time. I'm like, Sting's on TV, and they're like, what? And I'm like, just shut up. Why did you have to be born today? No, I'm kidding. I love all of my kids. They're fantastic. I just have bad timing.
Apparently
it's my
Jeez.
fault. I should have picked whatever. Let's move on.
No, I was gonna say, but Adam Cole is the victor. He wins shadily with some chicanery. Bobby Fish getting involved. I thought this match was okay. I just, with these two guys, I was expecting. I want to really get the payoff from NXT when Samoa Joe choked him out. I was like, here's finally we're getting the payoff to this in a whole nother company, and it was just all right. It was just all right.
It was a match.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was just kind of in the middle for me. But one thing that was cool though, Mike Chioda was the ref for this. Yeah. I love that because obviously he has a long history with the Hart family, working in WWE for so long. But yeah, that was cool to see him. But yeah, so Adam Cole is the male winner of the Owen Hart.
Is he going to defend that title? It's a belt.
I don't know. They were carrying it. They were both carrying it around last night. So
yeah,
I don't think they'll defend it. I think it'll be one of those things where they probably walk out with it for the next like 2 or 3 weeks, and they're like, "Hey, I won this," and then they'll be like, "All right, you fucking put it away until we do this again next year."
Like the greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Andre the Giant Memorial thing, whatever. Oh, you'll carry it around for a month, and then it's like, all right, put it in the fucking closet, and then next year when we do it, we'll remind you that you won.
The trophies make sense, but when you make title
the belts look nice though.
They look great, but
they look like it was kind of. They look like the old Canadian, the Stampede Stews Federation, the Stampede Championship belts. So they look dope as hell. But yeah, do you have anything to add about this match as far as Cole and Joe goes?
No, because like you said, I think you covered it. There wasn't anything of like, it just was a good match between two guys, and we move on. And
yeah,
I wish they would have done more with it. I would have hoped to see, because I had predicted complete chicanery where everybody gets involved and Jay Lethal, and they keep that going, and they didn't do that. So
yeah,
okay. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, we then got the women's Owen Hart final, and that was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, going up against Ruby Soho. Before the match, Rancid was there. That fucking ruled. All right, so Rancid was there, and they played Ruby Soho to the ring, playing her song "Ruby Soho,"
which right there she should have won.
Yeah. But that was cool though. That was awesome seeing Rancid. The whole band was there. Good stuff. And they sounded great. That must have been cool as hell being there. And I actually thought these two, yes, 100% Walton, 100%. I thought these two had a pretty good match. Started off a little slow, but I thought this ended up being a really good match. And Dr. Britt Baker ends up getting the victory. I thought Soho should have won. Rancid's there, on top of the fact that she needs a big win. I understand the Adam Cole, Britt Baker
did on Wednesday. Just like, why not do that on Sunday?
Yeah, I understand the Adam Cole, Britt Baker side. I get it. But I thought Ruby Soho should have won this match, but Dr. Britt Baker did, and you can't blame them. She's carried she's a star. You can't blame. I understand why the choice was made. I just would have given it to Ruby Soho. How'd you feel about this match, Pluggo?
Well, I had Rudy.
Yes, so you had a rooting interest.
I had a rooting interest. I was all in on it. I don't remember if they announced her from South Bend. I know that on Dynamite they mentioned she's from Indiana. I don't know if they mentioned
this is Ruby Soho.
Yes,
is she from South Bend? Like that's where she's from?
She's not from South Bend where I live. She's like it's like
in the area.
Like we call it like the Michiana area because we're on like the border
Got
of
it.
Michigan and Indiana, and there's like
Got it.
she's in the area. She actually lived here, and for a while she doesn't live here anymore. I think, but yeah, ultimately, yeah, she's from around here. Everybody knows her, I guess.
Fair. All right.
I met her a couple times. She's really nice to me, but I mean, you'll have to ask Alex. He was telling me some stories. He actually trained when he was training wrestling with her. So
Wow.
If he'd ever work.
Yeah, if the guy ever comes to fucking work.
Timestamp 41 minutes.
Josh is in the chat. Hello, Josh. Wonderful
Hey,
to see you. He's saying Bill from Lafayette, Indiana. So
I believe that's ultimately where she's.
And then Walton
born.
agrees. He said they usually say she's from Lafayette. She was born in Edwardsburg, Michigan. There you go. So that's the question answered.
Is 20 minutes from me, not 20.
Oh, so that's not bad.
Me.
So she's right around the neighborhood from you.
Yeah, so
that's
she's
cool. That's cool.
And then I actually used to work at the grocery store closest to Edwardsburg, and she'd shop there all the time.
Oh, dope.
Yeah,
you should have became friends with her, bro.
I mean, I have this weird vibe when I'm like working. And
that's true.
I'm not gonna be like. I was like, hey, how's it going? How are you? Super big fan. I hope things go well. Hope you blah blah blah. Just pleasantries. I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's be best friends and come hang out with me. And I, no. And I even felt weird.
That's not how. I mean, you don't have to be. If you talk to anybody that way, they're gonna be like, who the fuck's this guy?
Right.
The hell's that about?
I don't want her to be like,
what are you doing that for?
Who's this weirdo? I'm trying to get groceries, bro.
But I actually thought this match was pretty good. I thought it, I said, I thought it started slow, but it turned into a good match. Ruby Soho, poor thing, she put on you have not. You have not. Right now we're working through AEW. Then we're gonna do the review.
It's gonna be.
We're gonna do the review
today.
Which I'm glad you're here, Josh, because I want your opinions in the chat
on the NBA finals.
We're gonna do the review, and then we're gonna talk some WWE, and then we're gonna get the heck out of here. That's the plan. But Ruby Soho put on a terrible sharpshooter in this match. It was bad.
Yeah, she did.
It was really bad. I love Ruby Soho, but
if you're watching,
that was not a good sharpshooter. Ooh, it was rough.
Well, yeah, ultimately,
but it was a good match. Britt Baker gets the win. Understandable with Adam Cole and Britt Baker both winning, but I think Ruby should have won. I think Ruby should have won this one. But regardless, it was a good match. I have no problem with Britt winning.
At what point with Britt Baker do we get to the point where she doesn't need this stuff anymore?
We're already there, I think.
Well, that's what I'm like. We always talk about it, and she draws a lot of comparisons to Charlotte Flair. Charlotte doesn't need these wins, and she can take losses, and she's still Charlotte effing Flair.
Yeah.
Britt Baker should be at that level now where she could have took this loss. It elevates Ruby, gives Ruby a signature win, puts her immediately, because she beat Britt Baker, into a title picture. So you at least start building up some more people, because like we talked about with Jade and Anna Jay, it feels like it's just plug and play. Like, let's not build anything for Jade. And right now, where's Rosa? Where was Thunder Rosa after her? Like this Wednesday, like who's the next opponent for her? Right now in this division, it's shallow. It's like, all right, Britt, but we just saw Britt and Thunder. So where are you going next?
Yeah.
You gotta start building some stars.
Josh, this woman is literally a doctor. She does not need this right now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Dan's right too. There were not that many good sharpshooters. Multiple people did not have the greatest sharpshooters.
Let's be honest.
And I agree with John. I think we all agree that Ruby needed it. Ruby needed it. Britt did not. Like I said, I get it. Adam Cole and Britt Baker, they're a couple. They're gonna win. I get it. I completely get it. I just think I have no problem with Adam Cole winning. Made way more sense to me than Britt Baker winning. That I had Britt Baker going out in her second round match. That was where my brain was like, oh, Britt doesn't need that. She's not that she's above it because it's a cool thing, but like she doesn't need it. You know what I mean? But regardless, the cool part though was afterwards we saw Dr. Martha Hart, and it's very cool because for me, I started watching wrestling early enough that I remember a lot of Owen Hart. I remember the first time I ever saw him, he was in High Energy, which was a tag team with Coco Beware, and they wore checkered dotted neon colors. It was a time, but that was the first thing, and then he was in the Hart Foundation, bad guy, the story, all that stuff. So I remember Owen a lot, and after everything happened, the only thing you would ever hear about Martha Hart is how terrible of a person she was. I feel like that was whenever she was mentioned, it was always like, oh, well, she won't let us talk about Owen, or like she was always portrayed in a negative light. And I felt like after this,
unfairly,
no question, no question.
Just throw that out there.
I just thought that was understood that it was unfair. Yeah, but yeah,
for
without
those
question.
Those that aren't aware,
yeah,
super unfair.
What? Yeah. But anyway,
if I
but
go
to
to work tomorrow and my job kills me, I would hope that my wife isn't like, yeah,
let's go shop there next week.
Yeah, let's put him in their Hall of Fame.
Not gonna happen. But to see her so happy and to see her talk about Owen and talk about what that tournament meant and just Owen and how literally she was glowing. She had the nice fancy hat and the nice dress. Like it was just such a wonderful moment. And I loved it. I loved it. And you could see that Britt and Adam weren't in character really for that. They were just enjoying that moment too, just being professional wrestlers who grew up. Owen Hart, the Hart family they're so integral to the history of wrestling. And it was just, afterwards was just a very cool moment. And it was cool to see Martha Hart get that platform to kind of talk to the wrestling fans, because she has really never really talked to the wrestling fans. And it was cool to see her be really happy and do that. So I enjoyed that a lot.
I think they did right by it. I just next year I hope they kind of spread it out, make some of the matches feel a little bit bigger. Ultimately, I think they rushed trying to get it in to get to Double or Nothing.
Well, I think they realized that Double or Nothing was closer.
Yep.
And they probably thought, and they were like, oh shit. Because that's how the whole thing with Sheeta happened.
Exactly.
It was a timing issue. So,
but again, I think if they do this every year, I think this is great. It's fun for the fans. It gives you a chance to remember one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I can't say anything bad about the tournament overall. Whether whoever won or lost doesn't matter. It was a good time.
Yeah. We got Dan San, an aside, but for any Jack Evans fans, he was just announced for Ultimate X at Slammiversary, so that's pretty cool.
Oh,
and then we want a Von Erich tournament. Bo Hayes wants a Von Erich
Hey,
tournament.
Bo Hayes, stay dialed in to Love Wrestling. There might be some Von Erich type stuff.
Well, I was going to say, if they were going to do a Von Erich tournament, wouldn't that be an MLW? Aren't they?
The Von Erichs? Yeah,
they're currently the kids are there, right?
The Von Erich story, that's a wild story.
Oh my god,
my god, that was a hard watch.
The Dark Side. Did you watch the Dark Side of the Ring? Yeah. I
actually, because of that, I went back and I watched the Kerry Von Erich versus Flair.
Oh yeah,
that scene was wild. That match, the crowd when that's a huge one of the biggest.
It's crazy
I've ever heard.
Because I think people probably our age and younger, they probably know Kerry Von Erich for like the Texas Tornado a lot. You know what I mean? It's like
I didn't know a bunch about him before that Dark Side, but you go back and you watch and
Kerry legends, like all of them, the whole family. Brutal what happened there. It's so sad.
Yes.
We then got the mixed 6-person tag match. I mean, we don't got to talk a ton about this. But
this was one I glossed over anyway, to be fair.
Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zant versus Frankie Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Ty Conti. There's 6 people in this match, and Frankie Kazarian is truly the only good person in the match. Everyone else is heels. Yeah. It makes no damn sense. I'm supposed to be rooting. Who am I rooting for? Because I'm not rooting for Sammy and Ty Conti because I don't care. I like Sammy I like Sammy, but this current I no. So I'm not rooting for them. I like Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, but I don't really care for them being with I'm done with them being with Lambert. Paige Van Zandt was her debut. I thought she looked okay. She looked like she's gonna be good at this. But she looked like she was new. I love Ethan Page. I love Scorpio Sky, but this match was just And I agree with Dan. I think I was rooting for the match to end so the storyline would be over. There we go. Like we got multiple people in the chat saying, yeah, please. And I can fully understand that about the Von Erich.
There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff, man.
But a lot of those episodes,
Yeah.
Dark side of the ring
Um,
is a chore sometimes.
But Scorpio Sky hit Frankie Kazarian with the TKO for the pinfall win. So Paige Van Zandt gets a victory in her debut. Scorpio Sky still looks strong, and all well and good.
And that Lakers title, bro.
Yeah, I know. I believe Guevara and Ty ended up kind of ditching Kazarian towards the end of this match too. They were like, "Yeah, we're done with this crap."
This was one I felt confident to kind of, with my tight schedule this week, to gloss over. Yeah, video Bobby Munson, my man. After us, the Video Bros, you know it. Thursday nights after us, talking MLW, one of the hottest programs on television right now. Our boy Alex Kane, Alicia too, Richard Holiday. It's a good time. Enzo, he's doing his thing down there too.
He is, yeah, absolutely.
And he's not having he's not the Enzo from the WWE. He's like serious. Like Enzo's all like, it's weird. Like I'm waiting for him to be like doing this thing, and he's just like an asshole. But he's like an asshole heel who's not goofing off. It's weird. Weird vibe. Anyway, back on track.
Oh, and you're saying Enzo was all serious tonight.
So was he tonight? I haven't watched. I usually catch MLW on the weekend because I'm busy on Thursday nights.
That's right, Dan. Sammy did hit Tay with a super kick by accident. I remember that.
And I think did everybody pop? Did everybody go crazy when that happened?
Oh yeah.
His face was like,
he was like, "Oh shit! Oh no, I can't believe I did that." I was like, "Yeah, well, you did." So, this was,
I just feel like you've got a guy like Scorpio Sky, you've got a guy like Ethan Page, you got Sammy Guevara in this mix. Like all three of them could put on these just insane.
And Kazarian can still go,
and he can go,
yeah.
But they're reverting to this like. It's childish in a way. It's like, oh, your girl's a slut. Like, stop. Like, we don't have to do that. Like, Dan Lambert doesn't need to do that. And then Sammy's doing. It's just like, guys, you don't have to do this. We don't have to degrade the women to get over. You don't have to be like, he, blah, blah. Just give us something of substance and have a banger match. And like, let's go. Let's move on. If Ty and Paige Van Zandt want to wrestle, like that was a Rampage. Like you could have done that on a Rampage.
That's what I thought there. And I thought, even though I liked the next match, I thought this was another match that could have been on a Dynamite or a Rampage. But yeah, I agree with you. I feel like that match could have happened on just a regular show.
Spoiler,
spoiler for the people. But Enzo got his first loss.
Oh wow, it was his. I didn't know it was his first loss, but damn.
We then got Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin. I thought this match was solid, but again, I thought this was a match that could have been on Dynamite. This could have been a Dynamite match.
Did I miss something? Why did they throw this match on?
They threw this on rather late. I think it was
super late.
It was the night. Like I think they either announced it on Dynamite or Rampage. But no, Bobby, you're good. You're good. I think everyone's gonna be. Yeah, they'll survive. They're gonna survive
in wrestling.
I don't either.
I always like to see how they got there. So, but yeah, this match to me was like, all right, it was what it was. It was two guys that we know what they're gonna do. But why was it pay-per-view worthy? Like, why were we throwing this on a card?
Well, I think what happened was, at least what I'm seeing, is usually at Double or Nothing, they do. Oh, that's right. They announced it on Rampage because Kyle O'Reilly injured Sting. So that was the story that they did. But I think a lot of the things that happen with these a lot of multi-person matches, and why some matches got added on late was because usually at Double or Nothing they do the Casino Battle Royal. Yeah, right? They didn't do it. They didn't do it this year. So I think there were some extra matches that they were like, oh well, we need this person on the card.
Okay,
Darby should be on the card.
I'll stop. Did you think Double or Nothing was too long? Because that was a big topic throughout the.
Yeah, I thought they should have added. The pre-show was an hour, right? I think there should have been 2 or 3 matches on the pre-show. I think if they take 2 of these matches, you could take Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin. That could have been the main event of the pre-show. Have Hookhausen lead it off, and then just have this match. Or if you want to add a third one in there, I think if they would have done that, and there would have been 2 or 3 matches on the pre-show, and then you get a 9 to 10 match main card instead of a 13 match main card, I think that makes it seem,
and I know,
paced and stretched out better.
And I know that they do 4 years, so they obviously want to make them big spectacles, which I'm not complaining. I just, as we've talked, this is one of the first cards. And yeah, I believe that that's part of it. If you bought that extra hour for the Owen Hart stuff and the Martha stuff, great. But yeah, like you said, JPJ, move some of this to a pre-show. There used to be 2 or 3 matches on a buy-in. I don't know why they went away from that. And then you pace it out a little bit better so it seems more smooth. Because yeah, like you said, I think 2 or 3 of these matches aren't pay-per-view worthy matches. And I understand you want to give people pay-per-view paydays and you want people, and like the WWE does it. But again, I feel like in my heart of hearts, like this should be the pay-per-view should be special. Like you made it. Like this is a culmination of a story. Maybe I'm asking too much, but you know, the Super Bowl isn't, let's put the, you know, Jets in there just because we want to, you know what I mean? But again, I could be wrong. I did not, and I will admit, I did not stay up and watch this thing live. I caught it because I have a job.
Yeah.
But I know it was Memorial Day, but I had to work. I didn't ask for the time off in time. Slacking, bro.
Unbelievable.
But I had I had stuff this week
that
I had to do other that was more important. So I tested the bullet and I worked on Memorial Day.
We then had the AEW Women's World Championship match. Serena Deeb going up against Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa retains. I thought this match was very good, as I expected. Between these two, Deeb rules, Thunder Rosa rules. This match was very, very good to me.
They're two of the best wrestlers in the world.
Submissions, beating the crap out of each other. Thunder Rosa's entrance attire and what she was just wearing in general, she looked amazing. I loved this match. Yep, and Bobby, you are right. This is 2 of the best, not even just best women wrestlers, 2 of the best wrestlers in the world, period. They showcased how good they were. I thought this could have been in the argument for match of the night. But yeah, I love this match. Thunder Rosa winning made sense. I would like to see Deeb with that title somewhere soon down the line. But yeah,
that's what I was just going to say.
I love that match.
I don't know how they get there. I don't know what they have to do, but I think that she deserves a title run for all that she's done. That would be her flowers for all that she's done, because she's been propping up those younger, inexperienced women's talents, putting on great matches with them as the professor gimmick. When she came back, that initial run with the NWA title, when they were integrating that into AEW, like this match, I had no doubt in my mind was going to be a banger. It was a good 2 of the best. Again, at the end of the day, you know how we feel about Thunder Rosa, friend of the show, and how I think she's fantastic. She's probably arguably my favorite wrestler right now going.
Yeah.
I want to see Deeb get a title run though at the end of the day, because she does this. That's what she does. You put her in the mix, she shows out every time. I don't know how you do it, Tony Khan, but make it happen.
Yeah, we got Bohei saying he was surprised by this in all caps. So
shouldn't have been surprised by it, but I'm glad you were surprised.
Then we got Dan saying, I forgot who, but I think it was King. But they said that Deeb was the best wrestler on the roster until Danielson came, and then she was tied for the best wrestler on the roster. I had the good fortune of seeing one of the Shida Deeb matches live in their trilogy. Yeah. She's awesome. She just
knows. She doesn't try to do too much. She doesn't try to do anything outside of what she knows how to do, and she just knocks it out of the park. She's a consummate professional.
100%.
Yeah, so give her the belt one time.
Oh,
not for a while. Let Rosa have it for like the next 5 years, but then Deeb take it.
Yeah. All right. We then got Anarchy in the arena. It was Yas, Chris Jericho, Garcia, Matt Maynard, Jake Hager, and Angela Parker versus Kingston Santana. Sports entertainers. Then you had Santana, Ortiz, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley. This match was chaos. They were beating each other. They were all going all over the arena, literally. There was blood everywhere. Matt, the heavier one of 2.0, had a covered in blood. Ridiculous.
Danielson was covered in blood.
There were weapons galore.
Kingston tried to
light someone on fire.
Jericho.
Yeah, that scene when he was walking down, he looked like a serial killer walking down the thing when he's covered in blood.
This is the one admit I only caught the cliff notes of it. I need to watch it in its totality because I heard
Yeah,
it was
this was a
fantastic.
wild match. It was fun. It was fun. I did not dislike this match. It was fun. Yeah, Danielson has just been fantastic.
My
It's
question
incredible.
is, they just announced that they want to do Blood and Guts on Wednesday.
Yes.
How did they? Like it seems like they just did that.
Oh,
I know.
yeah, but I guess they're going to be confined inside.
Yeah,
a cage
for sure,
now.
for sure.
Um,
Yeah, it's just
but
like, how do you
something's
top?
going up there. I hear the sirens.
Oh, it's
Bad.
well,
Things are happening.
you're in the Boston area, bro.
But
People
I
are
was
going
shocked.
wild for the
I
finals.
was shocked that the Jericho Appreciation Society got the win here. And
Yes.
Jericho, basically, he didn't make Danielson submit, but he was out cold. So Jericho technically got the victory over Bryan Danielson.
Interesting.
And just with Yas winning in general, I thought that was it shocked me a little bit. I was not expecting that.
Like I said, I
yeah.
didn't catch it in totality, so I'm not going to sit here and try to analyze it and pretend like I know what I'm talking about. I did when I saw that that was the ending. That was a surprise for me because I think we all have said like the Blackpool Combat Club is fantastic, and that lineup was sick. So I'll be interested when I go back to watch it to see how they ended up making that decision because it was weird. Like, why did they need to win there? Maybe are they telling us that sports entertainment
maybe
is king?
We'll see, but they're going to keep going. That we're getting a hair versus hair match. We're getting blood and guts, and I think that would be the end.
Didn't Angelo Parker say AEW Galaxy?
Yes, amazing.
Not,
I love that.
Appreciate
I love that so
us.
much.
And I was like,
I love that so much. Fantastic. We then got the triple threat tag match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. It was Keith Lee and Shane, Swerve Strickland, Team Taz, and Jurassic Express. Jurassic Express retained here. I was not expecting that. The match was good. The match was solid. I was expecting Swerve and Keith Lee to win, but Jurassic Express did retain. It looks like we might be heading into maybe not a multi-team one, but maybe Jurassic Express versus I don't even know. But hopefully Swerve and Keith Lee on their own. But yeah, that's what happened. I don't have much to say about this match. I thought it was solid. But the thing that struck me the most was I was expecting
or even
them to lose the titles.
Starks
and Hobbs either. Yeah, I just expected new champions.
Like we didn't get we got one new champion. But that was
talk about it next.
Yeah, we're going to talk. But I'm just saying, like, this was that match where it's like pull that trigger on it because we know what you're setting up. And again, I guess we did this last week where we're like, do the thing with Julia Hart, and then they ended up doing it. So we'll let it run its course. But this was a perfect opportunity to put Swerve and Lee on the because again, AEW, yes, early in your time, you need to establish who your stars are, who your people are, get them racked up with some accolades to have that hierarchy. But again, we know who Jungle Boy is. We know Luchasaurus. There's not much more that they can even do at this point, really. Yeah. But that we everybody's behind them. Let's put somebody else on that map, and Swerve and Keith Lee would have been the perfect. All right, here's your tag titles. Let's see what you can do with it, or even Starks and Hobbs. I don't know, but hey, like you said, hopefully this leads down a path of. Ultimately, I think we're going to end up with the Hardys getting into the tag.
Yes, I think that's where they're heading. I think that's
so that way they can get the belts and maybe the Bucks get their win back. That's where I feel we're going to head towards All Out. Yeah, if it was me, but hey,
I think so.
Whatever. That's why I'm sitting here and I don't have the pen.
We then get the main event of the evening for the AEW World Championship. CM Punk versus Hangman Adam Page. I thought this match was good. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about the botch. CM Punk went for the buckshot. It did not go well. But however,
but he's tired. He's old. It was
he's an old.
I
get it.
Not every fight's gonna be pretty, But did I call it or did I call it?
Yeah, I mean, we both did. CM Punk gets the victory, and he is the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I was sad for Hangman. I love CM Punk.
Should have hit him with the belt then. He had the fucking chance. Should have took it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Punk was waiting for. He was waiting for good guy Hangman, and then he slipped up, and Punk comes in, gets it done.
Yep. Yep.
I saw a lot of mixed emotions on the Twitter
Yep.
sphere for this one.
No,
Because
I thought Punk was going to win. I wasn't shocked.
I
And
just
I
meant
love
that
CM Punk. I'm happy for him. Yeah, I liked
I
it.
just the whole discourse of 47-year-old CM Punk taking spots from younger talent. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to do that because people.
And I hate to say it. I thought Tony Khan kind of overshadowed his win in the press conference. Kind of made it all about the Eric Bischoff comments, and he was just like cocaine. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, this match was good. It was a great matchup between the two. Like I said, that's what they always do this. And Hangman had that moment. It's like, do I take the easy way out? And honestly, the way the match had gone and the way the storyline had gone, had he went ahead and just cracked him with that title belt, I don't think anybody would have thought any different of him.
No.
I don't think anybody would have been like, oh shit, that's heel Hangman Page. I think it was just doing what he had to do. And then of course, Punk got in his head, gets the win. He is your AEW world champion. My question to you is though, how long does he hold it?
Well, he's going to lose it to MJF.
You think so? That's where I was going to go.
Yes.
Based on everything that was happened, Tony Khan is never not.
Well, we're going to get to it because we're going to dive in. We're not going to do a full review of Dynamite, but we're going to dive into obviously the heavy stuff, but I think he'll hold it for most of the summer, and then I think we'll dive into it. But that was Double or Nothing. I thought it was a good show. I did think it was probably their weakest one out of the last 3 or 4.
First one without Cody Rhodes. That's why.
Hey. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty solid show. It was just long. It got over at 12:30. It's late. That's late. That's all. Sorry.
It's weird that like we talk about that in sports all the time. The length.
I'm about to watch an NBA game till 12:30 tonight. Or 12 o'clock tonight.
But it'll start at like 9:45. It's just super late, but it's only a 2-hour. The finals are always long. But my boy, I think you could trim these things down. I understand you want to get the most bang for your $50 and you want to make big spectacles out of it, but you also have to understand that that shit drags.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's a banger of a pay-per-view, I'm just like, at times I'm dozing off because it's tough to stop. I'm old. I'm old.
Yeah.
But hey,
good
show overall. The stuff I missed, I'm going to circle back and watch this week and get caught back up on all the nuance of it all. But like I said, I knew what happened in it.
Yeah,
it was pretty. The card, that was the thing. It was pretty expected. They played it very safe. I felt like I said we should have saw Swerve. That would have been a nice win. Giving Ruby the win, kind of just doing some other things, but they played it safe. And hey, not all of them can be 10 out of 10, I guess.
Yeah. All right, we then switch back over to Dynamite. Like I said, we'll kind of skim through this, the stuff we got to talk about. The show started off with the new champion, CM Punk, getting his roses, big pop, big CM Punk chant. This was the first time they were in Los Angeles, California. They were in the Forum, so you could tell it had kind of a big night feel to it.
Freddie Prinze Jr. was there, our future boss.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. was there. They showed Macaulay Culkin. They showed Vince Vaughn. There was some celebrities there. Denise Salcedo was there. Our girl Denise, hardest worker in the biz. But yeah, so the show started off with CM Punk and FTR going up against Max Caster and the Gun Club, or as I call them, the Ass Boys.
By the way, can we not gloss over how awesome that their intro is now with the Ass Boys involved?
Oh, yeah.
Funny it is when he's like, all right.
They say the wrong names. Yeah, they say the wrong names, and Bowens is like, get out of here.
Bowens is like, F you. Let me show you
I very much like Anthony Bowens. I'm a big fan of Anthony Bowens. But yeah, no, that's very cool. I like that setup a lot. Yeah, I thought this match was good. Obviously, as you would expect it, I thought it was pretty solid. Punk did mess up again, though. And you could tell that he was really kind of being hard on himself a little bit. You could tell he was pissed that he messed up. But Punk...
When you're in the ring with FTR, who are just like
he was going for his springboard.
phenomenal.
He was going for his springboard, either double axe handle or clothesline, and he slipped again. And it kind of took the air out of the match in the room a little bit. Like the audience was like, "Oh," and it kind of. And you could tell even Punk afterwards grabbed the mic and was like, "I need to be better. I'm gonna be better." Like you could tell he was. I think after what happened on Sunday, and I think it's kind of in his head a bit,
Well,
maybe.
and you are
Like
the
it's in his
world
head.
champion, so there is an expectation, and
Exactly.
I think he holds himself
Exactly.
to that expectation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like CM
Oh yeah,
Punk is
as he
the type
should.
of guy
Like you want to
yeah.
be. You don't want to, especially because he knows. He's going to sit here and pretend that he doesn't care about what people say, and he might not, but he listens to it, and he knows. Like you said earlier, like people are saying, like, "Oh, the old guy coming to take the title from the," and then if he's, he knows. I'm
and
sure
then if
he
he's
hears
not
it,
up to par, he's
correct.
yeah.
It just puts
CM
more.
Punk
It
is
puts
one
more
of
of a
those-
bullseye and more.
Yeah. He's
it's
one of those wrestlers that if he makes a mistake, it's magnified 10 times over because he is CM Punk.
Yeah. But after the match, the big story was Punk says, "Hey, Forbidden Door, New Japan Pro Wrestling." He
Who
goes,
do you
"I
got?"
know." Yeah, he goes, "I know there's people back there. Who you got? Who's fighting me?" And then we see the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi, technically, I guess, make his AEW debut. He comes on the stage, poses for a few minutes, crowd's going crazy, as they should. And it seems like that's the first match that we're getting at Forbidden Door. It'll be the AEW World Championship on the line. CM Punk defending against the ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Hiroshi Tanahashi. That's a big match. That's a big match. So that's very, very cool.
I know Tanahashi was kind of linked to Moxley for a while.
He was.
I thought maybe that was going to happen, but this is smart. I know that the rumor was Okada title versus title.
Well,
but then again,
came out today that he's going to fight Hangman,
which is great because again, you don't have to like worry about the title versus title, who's going to go over, which is more important.
You can just have both the champions go over against those guys, and that's it.
And have awesome matches. So this is a great way to start the Forbidden Door card. Again, we've both said it on this show. I don't think we're going to sit here and pretend to know all the ins and outs of New Japan. It's something I definitely need to get more into, but hey, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Best in the world, Bo. He is best in the world. CM Punk can do no wrong in my eyes. But again, all wrestlers have botches. All wrestlers have mistakes. It's just when it comes to AEW and it comes to especially ex-WWE people, when the mistakes happen, they get magnified because of their. And CM Punk has always been polarizing. So.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Anything that man does is under a microscope, and if he has a mistake, then people definitely shit on it. So I see it. I see y'all in the Twitter. I see it. I see you trashing my guy.
All right. We then get the promo. So
what are you talking
Yeah, it was announced before the show, a little before the show, that MJF was going to be there. We were going to hear from him.
I was surprised.
I think a lot of people, including both of us, thought that the way the match ended with Wardlow on Sunday, that we weren't going to see him for a little bit while they were trying to figure out some stuff. But nope, he was there. He walks out. He says, "Cut my music." And he proceeds to go on about an 8-minute promo or so where he aired his grievances. He started joking around saying it was a big merger, a lot of important people there. It'd be terrible if something bad happened, kind of hinting at that. And he said, "You've been trying to hash things out with me. You've been trying to meet with me too little, too late." He's talking about everybody that, when this whole thing started, it was all friends and everybody had a ticket on board except him. He had to create his ticket and create his moments and get to where he was. He had to work for that. It wasn't given to him. He proceeded to say that nobody is on his level, which in my opinion, he was not lying during this promo. Either. In my opinion, he was telling the truth and he was spitting facts. We have Bobby saying that he wasn't the biggest fan of Punk until recently. I find his work now in the in-ring homages to Bret Hart and Roddy Piper have really connected with me. Yeah, you can tell he's incorporating that old school feel into it, and he knows he's 47. He's not 37 anymore. And he's wrestling a way that is good for him. But if he's going to be going for those moves, I think he needs to hit those moves. Otherwise, it's going to be, yes. If you tuned in late and you missed this promo, you need to go back. AEW's tried to take it down almost everywhere, but it's out there. You need to go find it. It'll be a promo that is talked about for a while.
Like I said earlier in the show, at 9 a.m. this morning, where I found the promo had almost 500,000 views just on the promo alone. The show last night did 960 some thousand views for the whole show. So you tell me who's drawn, who's not. If that promo was good.
Well, speaking of drawing, MJF says, Tony won't admit it, but he is the second biggest draw in AEW. You look at the numbers. He says, go look at the numbers.
Punk?
Probably Punk, I would assume.
Yeah.
He says when he goes out there, he's not expected to hit home runs. He's expected to hit grand slams. He says he's 26 and he's been held under a microscope, so he knows eyes are on him. And then some people start clapping as he's like going through this, and he goes, "Oh, it's funny. I hear some boos, but I hear clapping too." He goes, "That's funny." And he kind of turns on the fans and he goes, "Where were you guys clapping for me this whole weekend when you were calling me unprofessional piece of shit? Huh?"
Oh yeah.
And he starts going that way, and he goes, he calls the fans out. He goes, you guys, your opinions change daily. You don't know shit. All you do is go on Twitter and spout your mouths. You don't know anything. And then he starts talking about the boys in the back, and he says they all want his spot, but nobody's good enough to get it. He goes, he's talking about how people don't appreciate it. They try to tear him down, saying that he's not good in the ring. And he goes, why is that? Because I'm not looking for star ratings. I don't pretend to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's kind of digging into some stuff. And then he gets towards the end here, and he kind of starts facing the entranceway. So he's pretty much directing everything to Tony. And he goes, yeah, Tony Khan. He goes, oh, boy. He goes,
fire me.
Yeah, well, that's before that.
Oh.
I would hearken it to the bomb where it was legit stuff he was talking about, but the boss knew he was going to go out there and say that stuff, and it's very, very much like the pipe bomb, very much like the pipe bomb. So he goes, Tony's back there, blah blah blah, and he goes, yeah, he's a nice guy, whatever, but don't make him ask for money, or he's like, don't ask him for money because he has to hoard all that for all the ex-WWE guys he's going to sign.
And he said, hey, would you like me more if I was?
Yeah, and he said, would you be treating me better? Would you like me more if I was an ex-WWE
Oh, you completely glossed over too at the beginning when he said everybody kept bitching and wanting my spot. Well, you can have it because I don't even want to be here.
Exactly. He goes, you can have my spot because I don't want to be here anymore. And then he mentions the WWE, and then and you go, oh, man. And then he just goes, this is how he ends it. This is word for word. He goes, hey, boss, would you treat me better if I were an ex-WWE guy? See, maybe you don't get it, man. Here's the problem with you, boss. You got a position of power in a wrestling company when the only position that you should be assuming is behind the guardrail with all of these people. I don't want to wait until 2024, but you won't listen to me. So allow me to make it a little easier for you. Tony, I want you to fire me. And then somebody starts counting him down, and he starts screaming. He goes, don't count me down, you piece of shit. You shut your mouth. And he looks right at the camera, and he goes, Tony, look at me. Tony, look at me. I want you to fire me. You fucking Mark. Fire me.
Shout out to Throwback for the raid. What's good?
Yeah, Throwback. Thank you so much for the raid. We are talking about the MJF promo in our Dynamite review from last night. And he says it obviously edited out for American television. There is a video where you can see the unedited version, but he says, you fucking Mark, fire me, fire me, fire me. And they cut his mic, and it goes right to commercial, fades to black, goes to commercial very quickly. When they came back, the announcers didn't even talk about it. They acted like it didn't even happen. AEW, as the night goes on, they release videos on their Twitter. They didn't release anything about this. Nothing.
They did release something, and then it got deleted.
They got deleted.
Deleted it like it was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we just
I
talk
thought this
about
was
that,
masterful.
I mean,
masterful.
He is the master of taking things that he's just the master of blurring the line right now. Like, he might be the best in the business at, like, is this a character? Is this a shoot? Is this a work? That's all we heard all weekend. Over under how many times you heard the word shoot or work this weekend?
Yep.
Is insane. But he took everything that we as fans have said or we've been thinking about AEW's product, and he put it into that promo, and that's where he was getting those cheers. Because, yeah, there's this group of people that are, there's a lot of ex WWE guys. There's a lot of ex WWE girls. There's just, but again, I always say, WWE was the biggest show in town for the last 30 years.
Yep.
They're all ex WWE, but hey, my point is, yeah, and he does, and Tony Khan he's paid the Danielsons of the world, the Moxes of the world, and he didn't, and we talked about it earlier in the show. He didn't pay the unproven people because they're unproven, but he built a foundation and they've proved themselves. And yeah, does he want more money? Yeah, sure, and he deserves more money. And is it a work? It is now. I don't think Tony Khan. And I don't think Vince McMahon did it either. Said, here's a live mic. You go out there. Let me rephrase that. They did say that. Here's the live mic. Go out there and say what you want. But I don't. They knew that. They're not going to give him TV time. He didn't hold up a show and run out there.
No.
They announced he was coming out. They announced
Correct.
he was going to be, which was a shock to me, which means something had to have happened. Whether he signed an extension, whether he ultimately got more money, I don't know. But if you just look at it from the promo standpoint, it was fantastic. It was wonderful. He said a lot of things. You could tell he believes this shit. Like this is him.
Yep.
He's blurred that line. He's got the fans thinking about it. And yeah, I'm interested to see how they play it next. I saw a report today before we went on the air that AEW has taken his merchandise off of AEWshop.com.
I did see that as well.
Which they've done that in the past for things in other wrestling aspects, which again, it says to me that, yeah, you're working us a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Does he show up on Wednesday next week? I don't know. Based on this promo, I wouldn't. I'd kind of let this simmer.
I would let him be away for a little bit.
I would let him just like let it simmer. But then again, what have we talked about since Saturday?
Yeah, it's been this
MJF.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. Like, this is all we're going to talk about. This, and I jokingly put it on Facebook today. It's Scarf Boy Summer, baby. Let's fucking go. If I'm Tony Khan, I pay that man his money, whatever he needs. And again, you keep it within reason. You're not going to give him $20 million a year. Nobody makes that. But if you think he's a top guy, you believe he's a top guy, you pay him with top guy money.
Yep.
If your boss is Celtics, which we'll talk about a little bit later, if you think Jason Tatum is the guy, you pay Jason Tatum that money. You don't just say, sorry, dude, I'm not going to take care of you, because then he will leave.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
that's how it works.
Yeah, so pay the man. He's over. We're all talking about him. You said it. We want him to beat CM Punk for the world title. He should be. It would be an absolute crime if MJF was never a champion in AEW at all.
Well, here's my hot take. I think MJF beats CM Punk for that title. I would say in the promo he said, I'm expected to hit Grand Slams. Why doesn't he beat him at Grand Slam in New York? He'll beat him in New York at the Grand Slam, and he will do it as a babyface. Yeah. That is my hot take. If you notice at the end, and hopefully Bo goes back and watches it, but for anybody that's in here that watched the promo, if you notice at the end of the promo, those fans were cheering because those fans knew that what he was saying was the truth.
And he tried to circle it back because they were cheering. Yeah. And he was trying to be like, no, you're all pieces of shit. But ultimately, he just kept hammering home points that a good amount of the fan base was like, no, yeah, that's what we want, man. That's what we want.
100%. We then saw, so the MJF thing, go out of your way to find it. It's his signature moment so far. He's a lot of them, but it was just incredible stuff.
I might be having issues here. I can't see it, but I could see it on the Twitch stream, but not on our thing. Throwback. Do you think the MJF promo is a hybrid of Austin Punk's type character, the swagger of Austin with the passion of Punk? Hi, Colt Cabana. Celtics in 5. If they win, I'll buy JP JPJ beer. Thank you, Love Wrestling, for the support. For some reason, that didn't show up in StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm
but
not seeing that in the StreamYard.
But
Hopefully,
he
are we
did.
missing out on some
He
comments here?
also subscribed at tier 1, so he also hit that subscribe button. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for
why
that.
he did it all in the subscription thing, and that doesn't show up in StreamYard.
Yeah,
but
that's
shout
bizarre.
out to Throwback. Thank you for that. Hopefully you're still in the chat and we didn't miss your comment. I just noticed it. And I was like, yeah, that's a big comment. Yeah, he's kind of got that. MJF is in that Punk Austin, like, against the boss, against the world. I do want to see him I would love to see him. And I talked about it. I don't know how we get there last week. I want to see him rally these troops, these Sammy Guevara's, these the Jungle Boys, the young AEW upstart, the foundation, if you will, take on these old guys. Like, say, hey, we don't need you anymore. We've broken away. We are the future of this business. You guys are just here for a payday. I think that would be a fun story to tell. Because CM Punk ain't coming back. I love CM Punk, but he ain't coming back for the passion of wrestling. He needed a dump truck of money. Let's be honest. Like, and MJF is hitting those points home. These WWE guys, they want to get paid, and they're getting paid top dollar because who they are. Well, let's have it. Let's get that. Let's get that going.
All right. We then saw Johnny Elite have an open challenge, and it was answered by the returning Miro.
On
Miro
Rusev Day, no less.
Yes, and then Miro destroyed Johnny Elite, as would be expected.
And basically told everybody to be on notice because he's coming and he's going
he's going to take over heaven. He's going to take over heaven and destroy God. That's what he's going to do. Good to see him back. Glad he's back. It's been a while. He was red hot. I expect him to just continue along. Love Miro.
I wonder what they're ultimately what they're going to do.
I mean, I think they should put the TNT title on him almost immediately. Yeah. Almost immediately. This is where it gets, because there's only one heavyweight belt and not everyone can have it. You know what I mean? So I think he's TNT title clearly, like he was TNT champion before. I don't know what they do, but hopefully it's something of importance.
Well, let's be honest. That TNT title needs a revolt into the main event scene again. And no disrespect to Sammy and Scorpios, but once Cody left, I think they did kind of have to scramble a little bit to figure out what they do. They hot potatoed it for a minute. Mm-hmm. I think they need to get it back into like a prominent position where it is on the same level as the AEW world title, because that's ultimately what it was when it started. Cody made it that way. Yep. That's what we expect. They don't have TNT rankings and world title rankings. It's just top 5.
Yeah.
So you can't do that and then have that title just kind of be an afterthought on your pay-per-view. So hopefully they get Miro back into it, interject him. He can take that LA title and get it back to the green and white belt that it was when he had it.
Yeah, remember the green and white? We'll just kind of jet through the rest of this, but we did have a segment with the Jericho Appreciation Society. They come out, they're celebrating. Jericho cuts off the song again, gets major heat. It's hilarious. They're basically just talking crap. Eddie Kingston interrupts them, and it's just him and William Regal. And at first I was like, this is odd. Why is it just him and William Regal? But it was because they brought William Regal out there to give his version of War Games.
Blood and guts.
Blood and guts.
Blood and guts.
And that was it. We had a fun 10-man tag between Darby Allin, Matt Hardy, Christian Cage, and Jurassic Express against Hikuleo, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks. That was a very fun 10-man tag. Hikuleo, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks came out victorious there. Wardlow destroyed JD Drake. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about a really good match. This match got a "This is awesome" chant from the crowd. The ladies had a really good tag team match on Dynamite. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter against Ruby Soho and Toni Storm. This match was incredible. They went back and forth. They were beating the crap out of each other. Toni Storm looked excellent. Jamie Hayter looked amazing, as she always does. Soho and Britt Baker, we know what to expect from them. Soho did pick up the win here, which, like you said earlier, made me think, why didn't you just give her the Owen Hart thing on Sunday? But she does pick up a big win here. And then after the match, Hayter and Baker attack both of them. And you can kind of see Jamie Hayter picked up the Owen Hart belt, kind of stared at it a little bit, and then kind of gave it to Britt. They kind of small tease of the eventual Jamie Hayter turning on Britt Baker, which will be
awesome.
Incredible. And then we had an awesome main event. Jon Moxley, Daniel Garcia. They beat the crap out of each other. Daniel Garcia
Fight
is
forever.
amazing. He's 24 years old. Ridiculous. Moxley was bleeding everywhere.
And he's always in the main event. You notice?
Garcia, this is the second time that these two specifically have main evented
I know,
an AEW
but he's
show.
main evented a few, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
But these two are awesome. When they had their first initial stare down, when Garcia debuted back in the day, I was like, I want this all the time. I think I can't wait to see where Daniel Garcia is in like 5 years. He's already this good at 24 when he finally like figures out, gets that experience. Oh man. Watch out.
It's gonna be incredible. Ooh. And Jon Moxley obviously picks up the victory, and then he accepts the challenge for Blood and Guts, which we are going to be getting in July. I believe in Detroit, Michigan, they announced it's going to be there.
I think it's in June. I think it's that shows.
Is it the end of June? 29th of June.
Yeah,
so it's the end of this month. So that should be good. That should be very, very good. All right. So that was all of AEW for the week. It took an hour and a half, the majority of the show. We were going to talk about NXT and Hell in a Cell. NXT, there's going to be a pick show, I believe, this weekend with Astrid, Parrish, and a few others. So we'll let them steal the glory of NXT. We could address Hell in a Cell, and then we're going to talk a little NBA before we get out of here. But first and foremost, we're going to pay the bills. He was on the show last week, but our buddy the Wordsmith wants to talk to you for a few minutes about balls. And then when we come back, he threatened us to play this. And then when we come back, we're going to talk a little. Pluggo is going to give you his Star Wars review. Yeah. All right. But first, our buddy the Wordsmith talking about manscaped.com.
Well, let me tell you something, everyone. If you go over to manscaped.com, right this moment in time, right now, you can save 20% off of your next purchase at manscaped.com. But how am I going to save 20%, I hear you ask? Well, let the wordsmith tell you. Because if you enter promo code LOVEWRESTLING, that's right, Love Wrestling, you can see it down here. You can see it scrolling across the screen. Enter promo code LOVEWRESTLING and save 20% off of anything you find on that website. And also, you'll get free shipping. How crazy is that? 20% off. You can use it to buy the Lawnmower 4.0. And at the end of the day, your balls are going to thank you because, like the headline says, at manscaped.com, we save balls. And it's just too sweet.
There it is. Like he said, manscaped.com, 20% off with that promo code Love Wrestling. Free shipping.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. All right, Pluggo. It's time.
Oh boy.
It's time. Guys, strap in.
I don't think you guys are gonna like this one, but
we're not even gonna debate. I'm just gonna have you go, and that's gonna be it.
All right.
It's time, guys.
Pluggo reviews Star Wars.
Pluggo. Oh, he's got the hood on. I'm going to give him the solo. Oh, God, what did I do? I messed up. How do I do this? No. I don't even know how to do it. I'm just going to be. Do I have to remove?
Oh, well, now I'm like the dark side and the light side. I don't know which side I'm on. Okay, so this was the third movie, but really the sixth movie. Now I'm JPJ. Now you're anyway. This was the Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
This is the one that I started
by
at the
accident.
beginning and was super confused. I'm still super confused. This one confused the hell out of me. This one I had to like. There's a lot going on again. Like, what's his name? Luke Skywalker's hand is back. How did his hand come back? He just got that shit cut off last week. How did it just grow back? Jedi Masters can't make, because Yoda died, right? And then Ben Kenobi's dead. If hands can grow back because of your Jedi mind tricks, you shouldn't be dying. I'm just saying that right.
Fair.
Jabba the Hutt, that's a horny son of a bitch. He just sits in that bar.
He likes Leia.
Well, he likes Leia, but he was sitting there creepily, all them weird, they were all dancing. I couldn't understand what was going on. Then I find out that Leia is actually Luke's sister, but she's kissing him 2 weeks ago in the other movie. That's got to be a trip. That's got to be a mind freak. Like, the movie, this one, and I didn't finish it.
You didn't finish it.
I got to, because it was, I got to be honest with you. This is maybe there was so much going on in this movie. I was stopping. I was confused. I was like, I got to start over. Like, did I miss something? I feel like as I watch these and I progress through them, I feel like I'm missing something because everybody's like, these are like the greatest movies ever. But this one, and then like Han Solo's back. He's blind. Like he was frozen in the carbonite, then he's not frozen, then he's in jail with Chewie, then they're gonna go fight. I'm just super confused, and maybe I don't know if I'm missing something. Am I missing something here? Like I got so confused with Return of the Jedi, I had to stop.
Really?
I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, how did we get? Do I need to circle back? Like, again, I was lost. The dude, like,
what happened at the end?
Then Yoda's, I don't know what happened at the end. I didn't finish it. I got part 2 this thing next.
Did you do anything this week? For the love of God.
But I'm just saying, like, I
didn't watch wrestling. You didn't finish Star Wars. You didn't do this. You didn't do that.
I know.
It's not like we host a wrestling show where we talk about Star Wars or anything like that.
No, I know.
Unbelievable.
No, but I got, like I said, I got like an hour into it. It's like a 2-hour movie. So I'm like first half, and I get there, and then they're getting all their gears ready. They're about to go fight not the rebels. They're not the rebels. They're gonna go fight Darth Vader and the stormtroopers. Then I was like, but wait a minute, what the fuck just happened? Like I felt like I don't know. This has been such an interesting first 2.5 movies that I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I feel like I'm wrong because I don't know why what's with that bar? Is Boba Fett a good guy or a bad guy?
Boba Fett?
Yeah, is he a bad guy? He's a bad guy, right?
I think you can make the argument.
Is he tweener? Is he a tweener? Like, and then like Lando Calrissian's cool as hell though. But then he's cool. He's all right. Does he do some crazy stuff later on? Because
I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta watch the rest of them.
I might have to I don't know. I feel like this one, like when I felt like Empire was awesome and like much better, and like I had a lot going on, and it was just a lot of action. This one, I feel like I'm missing like things.
Okay.
Because you guys told me like this is actually the middle of the. But it's not. I'm super confused. I'm like lost. I had to stop myself and go, do I need to reset? Do I need to start this over? Should I just start over? Like, not, do I go back to 1 and go? I feel like I missed something. I felt like there's a huge chunk. Like, why did Yoda die? I don't even remember why he died. He's dead, but he's still with him. But is he really dead? Because he's got a baby. Or is that not his baby? I'm still telling you, man, all this shit is throwing me, man.
You just got to figure it out.
I'm going to have to lock in this week.
Yeah.
And really come strong next week and try to figure this out because I feel like I'm just missing it all.
Yeah. You haven't said anything about the story at all.
Because clearly I like movies that don't have any nuance to it. And I just like watching dumb movies that easy to follow premises because I'm trying to figure it out. So Did I half-ass the homework this week? Probably, because I only watched half the movie. I'm going to have to start from the beginning, give you a proper next week where I sit down and maybe take some actual notes, because I'm so lost when I get these things. Going, what the fuck happened? Why is
Okay.
who owns that bar? Is that Jabba the Hutt's bar? Like, does he own it, or is it just the bar that he hangs out in?
No.
He's got like slave land. He's like trapping. They're dancing. They're singing. I'm like, they're always at this bar. Like, I'm just like, what the? Han Solo couldn't see for a hot minute, and then he can see again. And he's still in love with Leia. Leia's kissing her brother. I'm all over the place, bro. I'm just fucking lost. Admittedly, I am lost, and I'm trying to get it back.
Yeah.
Old age, 900 years. Who, Yoda? Just died of old age? You'd think a Jedi Master could just figure out how to stay young forever.
Well, I mean, there's certain things. I mean, yes, Jedi Masters, but there's certain things you can't control, Pluggo. There's certain things you can't control.
And then who's the dude with Darth Vader that's like, get him? Like he's got his face.
Oh, the Emperor.
Is he the Emperor? Like,
yeah.
so he has another boss.
Yeah.
Or is that the
Vader's
boss?
Not the top dude. He's the top dude in these movies. He's not the top dude.
That's what I'm saying.
He's just an evil fuck, but he's not the top dude.
I'm really gonna have to lock in. I think I gotta lock in. I gotta focus up, because like I feel like I'm missing all of it.
Yes, I think so. I think you're missing the point.
What's the point?
I can't answer that for you. You are only watched 3. You've watched a third of what you need to watch.
I know.
So we'll get there.
But again, and I feel like this is a good thing, because then I get to ask these little questions every week, and we can extend this amazing segment longer. But I will lock in and give you guys a proper part 2 to this next week, because I don't know. This one, like I turned it on and I was like, I don't know what the hell's happening. I don't know if it was my mindset, the situation, what I was doing that day. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I definitely was confused throughout most of it. So I had to stop. It hurt my head.
It happens. Anyway.
Is there any movies that do that to you?
No.
All right. Well, play the clip. We'll get back to
It's Pluggo review Star Wars.
Pluggo review Star Wars.
I feel like there's stories within stories there, and I'm not focusing on the right stuff. I don't know.
You just gotta settle in. Just gotta settle in and focus. Don't let people distract you.
Maybe I needed some popcorn. I didn't have any popcorn.
Popcorn probably would have helped.
Yeah, dude, popcorn in the movie. Anyway,
you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have ourselves a draft.
Yes,
and then we're gonna get out of here.
Lawrence, welcome to the chat.
Oh, thank Lawrence, you. We love you too, buddy. We love you too. Yep. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have ourselves
draft battle.
That was dope. That was dope.
Boom. All right. So, Pluggo, you actually had the idea for the draft tonight. So I will let you. What kind of draft are we having, my friend, before we get out of here?
It's the NBA Finals. JPJ's team is in it. Celtics. He's got them in 6. I got the Warriors in 7.
I feel more confident than 6, but I wanted to be safe, so I said 6. But I actually agree with Throwback. I think we can win at 5. But go ahead.
I think he's just pandering. I think you're just lying. I don't think that's possible.
No.
But I thought, why not draft players from both teams and just for funsies and see what kind of team we could come up with and who would have the better squad. And ultimately, I would assume out of 10 picks, one of them is going to be the MVP. So one of us is going to end up with the finals MVP. Right. Mm-hmm. And I know you're probably leaning heavy on the Celtics side of things. So you're ultimately going to leave me with an awesome team. That's what's going to happen. Vader is badass in the Obi-Wan show.
I've heard, Bo. I've heard. I'm going to be starting that this weekend. I am excited. I am excited about that.
Anyway, and I'll let you go.
You let me go first?
Because your team's in the finals, and I simply picked the Warriors strictly on the basis that I want to be.
I'm already writing my first pick in.
And I know who it's going to be. I'm not an idiot.
Jason Tatum. is my first pick. All NBA, Jason Tatum,
Well, then
24
This
years
is
old.
easy. I got Steph Curry, bro.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
See, you start off hot. There's it's a sphere. These rosters are very top heavy. It'll get interesting towards the back half.
Yeah, because right now, see, here's the thing. If we're talking if we're talking like history of their careers, if we're talking whatever, I think without question the pick would be Klay Thompson currently. But Klay Thompson is still good, but he hasn't played basketball in like 2.5 years because he's been banged up. And this year he hasn't been the Klay Thompson that we remember really that much.
Sure.
So for me, you know what? I'm going to stick with my two boys. I'm taking Jaylen Brown.
It's a good 1-2 bunch.
I'm taking Jaylen Brown.
I'm going to take Klay Thompson at 2. So right now I'm just Warriors heavy, but I'm going to get interesting depending on what you do.
Well, no, because with my third pick right here, I think the fifth best guy, I'm taking Draymond Green. I'm taking Draymond Green right here.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm doing. I'm taking him.
I'm taking Marcus Smart.
Fair. I mean, I think it was between them, to be honest with you.
Because I'm going to play Klay at the 3, and I'm just going to small ball the shit out of you right now.
Yeah, but I got the size. I think this is why the Celtics are actually going to win in real life too. Like with our size, is
you guys got the length.
Fucking huge. Yeah, like the Ooh, all right. So I think we've collectively have chosen the top 6 guys in the series. I think that's what I said. Yeah, that we've done.
It gets interesting.
So now it gets interesting because Lawrence, I agree. Ball.
All day.
Now it gets interesting though because I mean I think the way he's played in this playoffs, I think I got to take my man Al. I think I got to take my man Al Horford. He's been unreal.
Yeah,
he's been unreal.
I hope for Al's sake. I
think he's the guy. This is his first ever finals appearance. Been playing forever.
For me, if he could stay healthy and he doesn't, and he can show out, I'm taking Robert Williams.
Oh yeah, all right.
I like
Time
him.
Lord.
I like him a lot. Yep, I think he's going to be something special.
He's only like 23 or 24.
Exactly.
We have Jason Tatum 24, Jaylen Brown 25, Williams is like 23, 24, 25. We have Grant Williams, who's also pretty good, who's like 23, 24, 25. Jay-Z's the front row I saw. All right, with my last pick, he's been balling out in the playoffs, and I think he's a rookie, but I'm taking Jordan Poole.
Ooh, that's what I was going to do.
Golden State.
Ooh,
I think he's a rookie, right? Is he a rookie?
Yeah. Yes. Well,
yeah, he's been balling. Is he a second year rookie or second year guy?
Yeah, he's
but he's been balling out in the playoffs, and yeah.
Well,
so I'm taking Jordan Poole.
I don't know how I will make this lineup work, but I'm going to have to take Andrew Wiggins if we're just going to leave him on
former number 1 pick.
We're going to have to. He's an all-star.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
All
right.
But the reason I did that is because, like I said, it's the NBA Finals. It's a little basketball. We throw that in here every week because your Celtics have made a hell of a run. Ultimately, I'm banking on the fact that I think that they are a little tired. They've been Game 7ing it up. So the Warriors are rested. Warriors. But hey, I mean, if the Celtics win, I ain't gonna be mad about it,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think you're gonna argue with me because you want them to win this. Like,
I have the Celtics in 6.
I haven't had my team in an NBA Finals since I was like 6 or like 8.
What, the Bulls?
No, I'm a Rockets fan.
Oh, Rockets.
I've gotten close a couple times.
Forgot about that.
But we haven't quite been there in basketball, so I don't know what it's like. And then my college basketball teams don't win anything, so
it's fair.
In football, it doesn't happen. I know my teams just like don't win ever. Cubs in 16, that was it. Like I just have shitty teams. That's what we do. But yeah, we didn't get to a lot of Hell in the Cell talk as we come up to the end here. Instead of going over the whole card, just tell me what you're looking most forward to.
Literally.
Yeah.
The only thing I care about is nothing. But no. The only thing I have semi interest in is Cody and Seth.
Yeah.
Because that story's still been good. I thought that Cody and Seth, that promo that they did on Monday when Seth kind of referenced AEW without saying AEW, I thought that promo was fucking great. And I thought their brawl was great.
You're
Even
trying to
though it's
come
the
back
third-
here after 6 years after.
Yeah, where he was like, you left to go do something with your
Yep.
friends and it didn't work out. And now you're crawling back. I loved it. I thought it was good. I thought their pull apart brawl was good. I think the Hell in a Cell match is going to be very good. It's just the third time that they fought and they don't need to fight three. Not everybody needs to fight
No.
a million fucking times. And
No.
Cody needs to win again. And he needs to win again. And he needs to go 3-0 versus Seth. And then Seth, I understand he's Seth Rollins, but what the fuck? Seth shouldn't be losing 3 big matches in a row either.
Yeah.
Because you book yourself into a corner because you don't give a shit about your booking and you have rematch after rematch after rematch. And you know what's crazy? And, we don't have to dive into the whole card, but all the matches are Raw matches. There's not one SmackDown match. Well, I mean, I think it's Riddle and Nakamura versus the Usos for a tag team unification. So technically, you could say that's somewhat SmackDown because Shinsuke's a SmackDown guy and the Usos are technically SmackDown guys.
But isn't this the first?
But it's all Raw matches.
But didn't Riddle and Nakamura just get thrown together on Monday?
Yes.
That's the first. So that's. I mean,
it's because Roman's. It's because Randy's hurt. Roman's not there. Whatever. I don't know.
There's no Roman's not
there. Roman's not coming back probably till SummerSlam. He signed a new contract and he's going to be getting that Brock Lesnar schedule. So again, if you know you're going to sign again, this is not even Hell in a Cell talk. If you know you're going to sign him to this type of contract, why do you give him both the belts?
Because especially I
understand why they gave him both the belts. He was the right choice.
And if you knew
but
Cody
he's not going to be there,
coming,
what's the point?
And if you knew Cody was coming,
I think
he's all about the strap. He doesn't care about the Universal title for his legacy. He cares about the WWE title. Why do it? Leave that belt open for options.
I think what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is Cody's beating Roman for that title in SummerSlam. I think that's the match. It's going to be Cody and Roman, and I think Cody's going to beat him. And then I think that allows Roman to not have the belts, be part-time. He does not need the belt for The Rock for WrestleMania. And then Cody can fulfill his destiny, and Cody can be the good guy champion, fighting every week, doing whatever. Yeah, I think that's how they should do it.
And especially because it seems like they've ended the brand split
yeah.
permanently, which again kind of takes the air out of the sails for Survivor Series and drafts. But yeah, if Roman and The Rock involves a title, I think that's a huge mistake because because you know The Rock ain't holding that damn thing.
Yeah.
So you already know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Roman deserves the time off. He's been holding the shit down since the pandemic, and he's been killing it since he's came back. But yeah, it was just kind of a silly. I know you kind of booked yourself. You panicked when he had COVID, and you made Brock Lesnar a champion when you already had that match in the bag for WrestleMania without a title, and then you had to do something, and now you've got a show without a champion on it half the time. And Cody's sitting there saying, I'm back for the WWE championship, but he ain't done nothing about it. Where's he been? Where's Roman? We haven't any interaction in that sense. And yeah, why do we have to face Seth Rollins 3 times to get our point across? You beat Seth twice. That should be good. You should have skipped the second one and did the second one at Hell in a Cell. You could have just, I don't know. Because then what do you do with Seth? You got to heat him back up somehow. Well, actually, you don't in the WWE. He could just show up tomorrow and be like, yeah, I'm challenging for this. And Seth Rollins is back in the mix because he's Seth freaking Rollins. But they're taking the wind out of these premium live events, man. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I can't get hyped about them because there's nothing to really sink my teeth into that we haven't either already seen or doesn't really have the stakes to it that it should.
Yep. I agree.
And that's sad to say.
I mean, look at most of the events that when you end up watching them, they're good. The matches are good. They're good, but it's just there's no investment in the story from them. And that prevents me from wanting to invest in the stories because they're just not, they don't care. Rematch after rematch after rematch. Same. Yeah, it's just, I can't do it. I'm going to watch it. It's going to be an entertaining show.
We're going to make picks. They're going to be on our social media this weekend.
And don't worry. And by the end of the night, I will probably, like most times, be saying oh, that was actually a pretty fun event.
Yeah.
But I just need them to care about the stories more. That's all. I just need them to care about the stories more.
We just talked about AEW and all their stories they've been telling. And MJF Wardlow didn't even have a title involved, and that story was the best story going into the night.
Yep.
Like CM Punk Hangman Page thing meant something. It was a big deal. The tag titles they have a story of some type. Like literally, they just threw Nakamura and Riddle together this week, and they get a title shot because of what Riddle did with Randy. That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Like, why aren't we, again, you got to put layers to this shit. You got to build people up. You got to make me want to be there. You can't unify all the fucking titles and expect me to be like, oh, these still matter.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But, we got basketball. You got basketball. I'm going to watch, but you literally are going to probably be throwing things in a little bit.
100%. But on that note, thank you all for hanging in here. This was almost went the full 2 hours, a lot of AEW talk. But stay tuned to Love Wrestling. We'll have some NXT and some Hell in a Cell coverage this weekend. Sunday brunch, Sunday afternoon, as always, you can expect here on Love Wrestling. Right after us, we got Major Love Wrestling with our boys Bobby and Papa Smokes, talking some MLW. Maybe a blowing off stream this Saturday, but there is going to be an NXT pick show, or I believe a post show.
Yeah, which I didn't even know in your house was happening until
yesterday. So we'll have all that stuff covered. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a subscribe here on Love Wrestling. Pluggo for you. Let the people know where they can find you, because we got these new graphics that don't have our tags on them anymore.
I won't know what to do. You can find me at Pluggo _ on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm all over the place. You can find us at B2Beards, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. Check us out. Stay tuned to our socials. We got some stuff coming up. We're gonna be doing some picks for this weekend, all sorts of fun stuff. So just stay tuned. You never know what's gonna happen.
You can find me at Joseph _Poulin, POULIN junior.com. At Joseph Poulin Jr. on the Twitter machine. You can find me at JPJ Loves Wrestling on Facebook, Twitch. I'm here every Wednesday with Pluggo and Astrid doing All Elite Sidecast. I'm here every Thursday with Pluggo here for Between Two Beards. And like Pluggo said, pay attention to the socials. There'll be some fun stuff coming up. Some maybe some new things, maybe some good stuff. So just pay attention.
We're taking over the world, folks.
Yeah. So just pay attention. But until next week, for Pluggo, for myself, thank you all for being here. We appreciate all of you. And next Thursday, we'll be seeing you. But until then, peace out.
Warriors in 7.
Nope.
My best friends. Some people say we have a problem,